So, I mean, is there anything in particular that stands out, something cool that you've been able to manifest, like anything?
Well, the most exciting and kind of how did that happen type of
Yeah.
moment has actually been my car.
Oh.
Um, so about 6 months ago, not even that, I think about 3 months ago, I was driving this kind of Volvo silver beat up from 2004, 2005 type of car. It got me from A to B, but it was guzzling all my money.
Yeah.
It was one of those things where it can kind of do its job, but it keeps needing repairs. It
Yeah.
needed a lot more maintenance than really your average car needs. And and I had already, sort of back at the beginning of the year, I rented a car, and it was a Fiat 500. And I just remember sort of being in the car and thinking, this is a really smooth ride. I really like this car. It's
Yeah.
nice and small, so I can park places really easily. It doesn't seem to guzzle petrol. It suits my personality. And I thought, I really want a Fiat 500.
Yeah.
How am I going to get one? And then after a while, I just sort of it was almost like a big thought that I put so much effort into, where literally I'd be behind the wheel of my actual car,
Mm.
and I'd be saying to myself, oh, look, there's another Fiat 500 just like mine. So I was literally going through those things, and it feels silly sometimes when you
Yeah.
do it, but it's just that feeling of, yeah, I've got my dream
Yeah.
car type of thing. So this went on for a while, and I almost forgot I was doing it, but I sort of like every now and again I would go, oh, look, there's a Fiat 500 just like mine. I wasn't
Yeah.
I wasn't particularly specific about color or anything like that. I was just like,
Yeah.
Fiat 500, that's all I want. Don't care what year or anything like that. I just knew that. And I took my mum out for a drive in my old car. Now, my mom is not a wealthy lady at all. She is retired, and she's divorced, and she lives by herself. But the one thing is that she really loves her kids. And I'm just sitting in this car, and I'm driving her there, and she's feeling quite proud because now both her kids drive, and she's really happy about that. She gets chauffeured everywhere, and she sort of starts listening and looking around the car, and she's going, "Does it always make that noise? Does that always happen? It's not a very smooth ride, is it?" type of thing. And she's just noticing certain things. And I'm like, yeah. And I didn't say anything. I was just like, oh, it's just my car, Mum. It gets me from A to B. I need to be between here and there, so I need a car, really. And she's like, I don't think this is really good enough. Nothing happened for about 2 weeks. And then it's one of those moments where you really have to pinch yourself, because my mum literally came into the sitting room where I was, and she said, you like yellow cars, don't you? And I was like, I guess so. I don't really mind colours of cars, Mum. It's just that there's a yellow Fiat 500 going for blah, blah, blah. And I thought that, if we shared the payments for that, that would be good, wouldn't it? And I'm literally sitting there going, how has this... I'd never mentioned it to her. It was insane.
Yeah.
And, I couldn't have afforded it by myself, but with her suggesting it, all of a sudden we could actually afford it. And all of a sudden I'm going, okay, that was a tiny weeny bit creepy, in fact. This stuff actually works.
Yeah, yeah.
If I could, I would take you to the window to show you my little Fiat 500 that is sitting in the drive,
Wow.
waiting to be driven.
Wow, that's
But
so
yes,
cool.
that's the most sort of like, for me, undeniable story that I have.
I love it.
Thank
That's
you.
how long ago was it? Was this pretty recently?
This was in the past couple of months. This was like
Wow.
2 months ago. And then
Jeez.
literally the next day after this random thing happens, we're there in the car dealership talking to this chap, and I'm just like, how did I get here?
Oh my
That's my
gosh.
car. That's my
Yeah.
dream car sitting waiting out
Oh,
there for me. How did that happen?
that's crazy. I mean, that's huge. So do you feel like now that you've
No.
done that, like, gosh, the sky's the limit. You can sort of,
Exactly. It's like now I kind of have a responsibility to myself
hmm,
to set goals in which I'm doing the same practice, because overall, I mean, I was prepared for that kind of thing to take a few years to manifest.
Right.
But I mean, literally from I really like this car, I wouldn't mind a car, to actually having one was about 6 months.
Wow.
That's not very long when you're, you know, not specifically doing that every single day.
Yeah.
So if you have that much power when you're essentially just putting these little firefly thoughts almost out into
Yeah.
the universe, what can you manifest if you're able to decide what you want, you know, build it up so that you really feel it in your system, and then just let it go? I
Yeah.
mean, that, like you say, the sky's the limit. So
Yeah.
it's an
All
exciting
right.
time.
Very cool.